I love you guys.
Dance off, bro. I have the high ground.
Expecto Patronum!
39 days, 20 people, 1 survivor.
On the Tribe of Nerds. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. Sarah, Kevin, and I are here to talk about Venom 3, The Last Dance. So the latest Sony Marvel movie that just came out. Unfortunately not the last this year, because we still have Kraven. But what are your guys' thoughts on Venom 3, The Last Dance? And I'll get the Rotten Tomatoes scores as well.
I thought it sucked. I don't enjoy movies where, like, I don't know, I guess the main character just kind of freaked me out a little bit. Like some of it, it looked like he was on drugs.
Yeah.
Brock did look terrible in this movie. Like Tom Hardy, like I was watching it feeling a little uncomfortable for Tom Hardy. I was like, I hope that this is like intentionally trying to make him look disheveled.
Yeah.
Right? Because like he didn't look great. Distractingly so, and I was like, this had better be from like being drunk in Mexico and like not like like this better be like an intentional character choice, because
I would hope so. But it just reminded me of like when you're on like Facebook or like you're watching Reels and you'll just occasionally get those videos of like tweakers in Florida standing at like a gas station, like just like doing weird shit. Like I was just like, is that what we're doing? We're doing crack now? Okay.
Yeah, well, that's how the Venom trilogy has been. It's literally just Tom Hardy has to act drunk and like look disheveled and like just completely like he's wearing sweats, and like you can literally obviously see like the sweat pouring through is like how that's just how he has
it just
been.
made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I would say
I've been drunk and never once have I like done some weird shit like that, you know, like
right.
I don't know.
Tell him to move in weird ways.
If I had an alien symbiote like attached to me and like popping out of my back every now and then, like maybe I would not look great too. Like it's not a judgment. I'm just saying it was very noticeable.
Yeah. Yeah.
To a point where it had to have been intentional. No, I wouldn't say that this was a good movie. I wouldn't say that it was terrible. Like I wasn't gonna walk out. I was like, okay, sure,
We know you wouldn't walk out of a movie, Kevin, you low class brow entertainment truck.
Low brow. I didn't go to the theater. No, like, but like it was weird. Like the ending, I got the impression they thought that we were gonna like cry.
Yeah.
And I was like,
right. Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, I mean,
and it was kind of it was also like kind of an ending that was like set up from the beginning too, that like you kind of knew was gonna happen. So it wasn't like I wasn't emotionally invested. I was like, yeah, like you're better off without this alien ruining your life.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple moments like when he's on the road trip, when he's with Rhys Ifans' character and his family, they had the emotional moment of like your life could have been so much better than this, and like I liked that moment. Like in that RV is probably my favorite part of the movie, but everything else surrounding that one scene is just you know, entertaining but stupid.
The family I kind of liked. It was kind of like the husband is like has this like passion, and like the wife is just like, okay, like I'll support you through this. And then the teenage daughter is miserable, and that's just like relatable and funny. And then like the young son is still like bright-eyed and like, sure, dad.
Yeah, the precious innocent child. Yeah.
Even though, as we find out, he is afraid of aliens.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, valid.
Yeah, right. That's completely valid.
I didn't love when he lied and said that aliens weren't real, specifically because he knew that wasn't true. Like, and then for Venom to be like, "You said the right thing." Like, so I did appreciate that they came back to it and he apologized for lying. So at least there was that. But I kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. I talk to kids a lot. It's kind of like part of
Yeah.
my job. So
Right.
I don't like when people lie to kids just because they think they can't handle the truth. I don't like that. That's like a personal thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
understandable.
for sure. Yeah, as a
Um,
parent, like I completely agree with that. Like, I mean, there's some things like you say and you don't say. It's how you say it, how to make
Right.
them understand. Like, yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like because he was like, no, the aliens aren't real. I'm like, I feel like you could have like, again, this is me taking this too deep because this is Venom. This is like not a very serious, but like
Right.
I would have been like, well, we don't really know, but like even if aliens are real, like maybe they're nice, maybe they would help you, right? Like, and try to like point out the good possibility instead of just lying. But anyway, that's just like a little personal thing.
Yeah, understandable. Before we get too far into it, so the Rotten Tomatoes scores, it got 36% from the critics.
I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah.
You cut it
Yes, it could have. Morbius and Madam Web got way worse scores, which I mean,
down.
other Sony Marvel projects. And then the audience seems to at least enjoy it, the stupid yet entertaining bits, and it got a 79% from the audience. So, yeah.
79 seems a little high, but like it isn't like I wasn't like angry at it. I was just kind of
Yeah.
like, meh.
Mindless
Yeah, no, I
entertainment.
felt just kind of meh. Like me, I like horror movies, so like I get it, fucking Spider-Man universe and all that, but I just feel like that the character is just so awesome looking. Like I just want to see more like Deadpool-esque, like rip people apart. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like I just wanted more than just like,
Yeah.
hey, I do crack. Like, whatever.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
and it seemed like a budget saver to like make part of the plot be that like Venom can't come out all the time.
Yes, yep.
And like
From what
it
I read was like a lot of stuff was cut. A lot of things like were even like refilmed at certain points. So like I feel like we're hitting Pirates 3 all over again, guys. Like it's
Yeah.
just a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have him so that like he can't be his full Venom self. So he's just the like head popping up, which is I watched another reviewer who was like, "Oh, but Venom's kind of cute," and I was like, "Venom is not cute." And then I was watching, I was like, "Oh, yeah, this part is kind of cute."
Are you talking about the penguin one, you piece of shit?
I just liked that one. No, but then for no reason he decides like, yeah, I'm gonna go full Venom and attract the villain, attract this like Venom hunter, just to like have a dance with Mrs. Chen.
Yes, which is a stupid funny moment to do the dancing queen moment with Mrs. Chen, but also
right. When the hell did this turn into Mamma Mia? Like, oh my god.
I do like when Eddie says like, when did you have time to practice this? Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's fun moments like that, but they're completely offset by them being stupid. So,
right.
But like, let's get into like my biggest gripe as well, is like the fact that Sony with their Marvel movies is they like to market it with throwing in Spider-Man references and then taking them out of the actual movie. So, like Morbius did it, Madam Web did some of it in the marketing, and then this did it again. And they literally market it. They show Chiwetel Ejiofor, who played Mordo in the MCU and Doctor Strange. And they're like, everybody's like, oh wait, how did Mordo get here? And it's just like, because it's probably not Mordo.
He's a different character.
Yeah.
Who sucks.
Yeah, and then you show Rhys Ifans, who played the Lizard in the Amazing Spider-Man and No Way Home, Andrew Garfield's universe, and so
did he even play in No Way Home? Didn't they just reuse all of it?
They didn't reuse his CGI, but I think he voiced the Lizard in the few moments that he like.
I was gonna say, did they even have him in No Way Home?
No, not really. Which is just funny, but
yeah.
But yeah, so they did that, and then they completely removed that, and then even in the beginning, you get the reshot scene from No Way Home, the post-credit scene of Venom being in Spider-Man's universe. They completely took out the line about him going to visit Spider-Man before he gets pulled back. And then he gets, instead of like disappearing in like that little misty, like, you know, how it happened in No Way Home, it's literally a portal for Null, like a reference to Null. So then he gets pulled back through that instead. And it's just like, why did you need to like reshoot this to completely change that? It's just so weird.
Yeah, yeah, and I agree with the marketing things with some like I hate when you watch movies and it'll give you the entire movie like
Mhm.
in the trailer, you know? So like I just hate when that happens, but I also hate like them not showing stuff that isn't in the movie. Like why?
Right.
You know?
I
It's
don't want to
just
see the whole movie, but I also don't want to be completely misdirected.
right.
Yes.
Like I want a little appetizer. I want to have an idea of what might happen,
Yeah.
but
Right, yeah,
I still want the ability to be surprised. I don't want you to flat out lie and tell me something and then have that not happen at all.
Right. Yep. And so they also, I believe the like supposed plot that came out before this movie released was that Venom and Eddie were supposed to protect Reese Ifans' kid, his son was supposed to be Peter Parker in that universe, and it was supposed to protect young Spider-Man. And they completely removed that and then reshot things. And like obviously then they reshot the whole New York ending because
Yeah,
Tom Hardy was spotted like completely like shooting that scene, like the ending
yep. All
scene.
cracked up again, yep.
Yeah,
He
so
actually, for the ending scene, he did look better, and I was like, well,
yeah.
He
you got
looks
rid
like
of
he
the
had
like
some
parasite,
water.
so
Mhm. Yeah.
you're not eating heads anymore. So I mean,
Yeah, but it's just interesting that they completely ditched a plot line. I don't know that I would have liked it any better, to be honest, if they had like
no,
scrunched it to
honestly,
Peter Parker.
good. Take the Peter Parker references out of this movie.
Yeah.
This is not a Spider-Man Peter Parker movie. This is a Venom movie. Leave it a Venom movie. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, well, let's jump into some of the other actors. So, like we said, Reese Ifans, like with his family and like playing this completely different character than the
Right.
Lizard. I liked, as you said, like he is this guy who's like passionate. His family, most of his family, completely supports like his new passions. Like I kind of like that. I think it kind of got stupid towards the end when they found a way for this family to still be involved in the plot by getting them into Area 51, which these
This
innocent people are not going to be able to get in there. And like, why are you putting your family
it
in
was so
danger?
unnecessary. Like you don't have to make it. You don't. They weren't even in actual Area 51
Right.
for like a good writers could have written in other things to like substitute those things, right?
Yeah.
So like what was that? Why were they there? But he wants to go to Area 51. He wants to see aliens. So he goes, and Area 51 is being decommissioned, whatever that's supposed to mean.
Yeah.
And why would you suddenly decommission it? Like, oh, because they're afraid of the tourists. Like, they haven't been afraid of tourists for the past 60 years. Why would they start now? Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so because it's being decommissioned, you can just sneak in a wire fence, like with a family. Like, you just take your kids through a hole in a fence. You fucking kidding me? Like, what?
It was so
I want to get it
stupid.
closer. And I don't care if it's gonna be decommissioned or like soon or not. Like, you still can't break into a government facility. Like, there are security. Like, there are precautions to keep you from doing that. And these people are just like, oh, okay, dog, you stay here and watch the car with the lights on. How did your battery not go dead?
Oh my
It
God.
just made no sense. And like, you didn't need to do that. They didn't need to. They were in Vegas anyway, right? Like,
Yeah.
like you could have had this finale battle like closer to that. You could have had it at the Hoover Dam, right? Like, you could have done things and like make the bad guys like actually killable so they don't just like reform constantly.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was frustrating because like I liked the like general characterization of kind of like the kooky family, like, and like I didn't appreciate the bad writing of them ending up in Area 51 on a tower.
Yeah. Also,
On a tower. You know what's going to happen when you climb on a tower in a movie? You're going to fall off the tower. Come on.
Also, how did Rhys Ifans know how to use an RPG? Like,
Shut up.
That was so stupid. I'm like, did I miss something of like him having military experience? Like, you're just randomly able to fire an RPG.
No, he didn't have military. He was in IT. He said it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, but like, why did I miss something here?
Stupid. You just missed stupid.
Yeah, it's so bad, but it's like
that's the thing. It is stupid. It is stupid. It's not. I wouldn't hate it, but it is like the stupid is frustrating. But I don't hate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then there's also Chiwetel Ejiofor as this military captain. I believe it's Rex Strickland in the comics, and so that is who he's supposed to be playing in this movie. There was parts where I like actually kind of like the character, but then eventually just got derailed. When I'm like, I don't like this character anymore.
I don't like when you have military leaders in a movie like this, right? Like he is leading a like black ops team that hunts aliens who he believes are killers.
Yeah.
And are here to destroy. So that's his team, is hunting those aliens. I don't like in movies when those people on that team die and then said military leaders like, you got good men killed. That's the job.
Yeah.
That's the job.
When you sign up, you make a check payable up to the amount of your life, and that is
right. And like, so it seems so like fake. Like,
yeah,
as a plot device, you know, like it seems like this poorly written character is trying to tug at the heartstrings of like the viewer without taking into consideration that like, no, those people knew they were going to die. And like it did work. Like the one that Eddie had to shoot underwater and like her mask comes off and we see her, like that worked because he was really upset about killing someone, right? Like, so that works. But like him being upset that like, oh, you got my guys killed. What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, well, but then Eddie feels bad for killing that one soldier, but then it never comes up again either. So like that, so like even that moment is like, I wish they kind of went in on that more, that he regrets killing. So I don't know.
Even if it was like Venom bringing it up when they separate and like Venom sacrifices himself, like you won't have to do things like this anymore, right? Like something. Right.
All right. Sarah, any thoughts on Rex Strickland?
I just don't like this movie, guys. I like the makeup. I just wanted so much more, and like I just like I just feel like it was just so choppy. Like I feel like so many things were just kind of thrown in there, like how the end was redone. Don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, raise your hand if you saw the acid tanks earlier in the movie and you're like, oh, that's how the alien's gonna die.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
yeah, they should have just put that in the trailer, right? Like,
right, it wasn't like a smooth thing. It was like, oh, that acid is gonna kill the alien later. All right, well, let's wait for that to happen.
Yeah,
right, like I get it. Foreshadowing is like that's how you do it in movies, but like it wasn't blatantly obvious. Yeah, it wasn't like in a passing moment. It was like, oh, look at the thing.
Yeah, we will get to that final like last third of the movie, the final battle later, but a little later. Let's also talk about like the Juno Temple, I believe the actress's name is. Her
from Ted Lasso, yes.
Yeah, Dr. Payne. They set this up as she was with her brother when they were younger, and it was a stormy night, and all of a sudden they both get struck by lightning. He dies, and she lives with half of her side like charred. Like
I will forgive it because it was told through a nightmare, so there's something missing there. The idea that lightning struck her arm, went down her arm and killed him, but did not kill her, was so ridiculous.
Yes.
I was like,
yes.
Wait, do we not know how electricity works?
Yeah.
Are they deaf?
I'm pretty sure they both would be dead.
Right. And also like again, I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, this is a nightmare. So I guess I can forgive that this doesn't make any sense, right? Because it's like your bad memory of it in a nightmare. But like the clouds are like clearly rolling in for a giant storm and they're just laying on the beach, like cloud gazing. Like, and then they decide, like, once the storm is overhead, oh, now we should run. But like, you should have been running a long time ago. And where are you that there's no place to run? There's no building around. There's no house. Like,
Right.
But like, this is a dream.
Why don't we let's play Mamma Mia again and let's just do that shit again. Yeah.
All right. Like, this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare sequence. It doesn't have to make sense. So I mean, clever on them to tell that story through a nightmare, so it didn't have to make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when the rest of the movie also doesn't make sense, it just leaves someone like me like, eh? So we are doing crack. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like it's like they started with some good ideas and then very quickly ran out of them and were just like, meh, all right, just throw whatever at the wall, right? Like,
honestly, that's the best way I can describe it.
That's Sony's MO, like
how they do things.
Yeah.
I would say I kind of like, as a general statement, I liked her character and her assistant. I didn't love them, but I like generally liked them. Like, I liked that they were still optimistic, even in the face of like, these aliens do not look very nice, but like,
well, that's what gets me
because
killed,
her brother like wanted to explore space and wanted to be an astronaut and like go to other worlds, that like she now gets to like live out his thing because he died, and she's optimistic because he was optimistic. Like, I can appreciate that, so I didn't hate her. But like, you knew the whole time every time she's walking around, her arm doesn't work, you know that she's gonna get a symbiote and it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, a symbiote. She gets the only remaining symbiote, which is Agony, as it turns out, from the comics, but apparently completely different power set because
I was gonna say they really didn't. They did what Sony does, and it's whatever they want, right?
Yeah,
just throw them all. And like, also like the knockoff version of Marvel, like the knockoff portals and like knockoff multicolored, like everyone gets their own color thing, like an Infinity Stone. Like,
yeah.
Come on,
then,
Sony.
like, yeah, she can control acid, so like the whole.
Yes.
Why would you let her control acid when that's the thing that kills? You know, like, what the fuck sense does that make? You know what I mean? Like, that's like letting Britney Spears have a knife. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's good.
But not her knives.
Yeah. Free Britney, not the fucking knife cabinet.
Not the butcher block. Yeah, so like, I don't know. I didn't hate her. I did think the whole, like, it was so weird when she drove past Area 51 and like went into the secret Area 55, which is dumb. But when she did that and she like, her truck, she's in like this old beat up truck and she like rides it down, pulls it forward off the elevator, and then there's nowhere for it to go. And she like hands the keys off and she's like, you can take it now. Like, this is so weird.
Yeah.
Like,
they really missed
no
an opportunity to make like an Area 69 joke there, and you bet your ass I would have.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
I would have loved that. All right, I'm gonna do one more character, and then I'll give a couple of things that I did like, and then we can hit that final battle, and then a review. Then we have Pat Mulligan, who in the second movie, Detective Pat Mulligan, they get teased as Toxin is gonna be in the third one, and then you get into this one, and supposedly he is now supposed to be infected with Toxin, but it's, from what it seems like, that symbiote actually abandoned him and he's with a new symbiote that isn't actually Toxin. So
I didn't understand what was happening there.
Yeah.
I didn't understand, like, he's clearly like nice and helping you. Why do you have him locked in like a 3-layer prison? I just didn't understand. I didn't understand anything that was happening there. And it just seemed like it seemed like just like having the image of him to say that he's there so that they could say like, hey, we have this character in the movie, but did nothing.
Well, I think the only reason they had it there is because he's supposed to be dead because Eddie Brock's being like charged with Pat Mulligan's murder, I guess.
But also, okay, but this is okay. So one of the big plot points of this movie is the codex, which like Venom and Eddie have because Venom saved Eddie. But didn't this symbiote also save Mulligan? And didn't the brown symbiote save the old guy in the lab? So like, weren't there multiple? But like, then it doesn't make sense.
The security guard. They multiple people should have had the codex. So Sony can't follow through with what they set up. Not shocking.
Also, why would like an infinite being outside of time and space name something the codex in English? Whatever.
Right? Are we trying to be Pitbull here? Take a pic with the code. Whatever. What is it? You know what that fucking song is? You know what I'm talking about,
Kevin.
Sony sponsored by Pitbull.
So a couple things that I did like. I liked the Venom symbiote going into different animals. I mean, the Venom horse, as cheesy as that is, I loved the Venom horse that they used all of it in marketing. So like, you know,
we saw basically the whole thing.
You didn't like the frog? Come on.
Oh, and the frog. I was saying, and the
frog, the fish.
Yeah, it was.
I liked all the animals in the end credits. Or not the end credits, in the credits.
I think the penguin was probably my least favorite, probably the stupidest. Like, that would never work. You know what I mean?
The penguin was obviously my favorite. That was the highlight of the whole movie.
36% on the penguin.
It's so funny.
Well, the penguin lends itself to having Venom coloring anyway, so it just worked.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, that's why it's stupid. They were like, oh, let's just throw a bunch of dumb shit in here. Yeah, cool, penguins.
Welcome to a Sony Marvel movie.
Yeah, that's exactly how they do it. I mean, I knew what I was getting in this movie, but I'll cover that in the review.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so then we get to the final battle, really. This is probably the other highlight, at least like it's entertaining, regardless if it's stupid. Like all the symbiotes going up against these creatures, like I at least enjoyed the action. It's at least like not bad CGI, so like that would have completely killed it more. So I was entertained. It did its job for me, even though the circumstances around it are just really dumb.
It was like a visually cool thing to watch. I would have liked for like these creatures that Null created, these hunters, to like not be so indestructible.
Yeah.
Right? Like I would have liked a more fair, because like you're seeing the symbiotes, like because we see them earlier in the movie, they're in those little like stasis holders.
Yeah.
Right. So we know that they're gonna join with you. We know one of them is gonna join with Juno Temple, right? Like we know these things are gonna happen. So it would have been more satisfying for me if like they did that and then it was a more even fight, because then Venom's just like super powered to the end, and like he like takes them and like he like assimilates all of them into like one giant Venom and forces them into the acid. Like I would have liked a more fair fight of like, oh, like now the symbiotes are loose and now they can fight back and they can defend themselves.
Yeah, it would have been nice. I was a little shocked because like immediately I'm like, okay, he kills the first one by it getting sucked into the airplane propeller, and then its pieces are like all over the ground or whatever. But then it comes back together. I'm like, really? That's what they're doing? Is they're gonna have these beasts?
But meanwhile, they like when they want to eat something, it just like pink mists out the back. So they're not getting a whole lot of nutrients out of that meal. So it's just like getting their asses kicked, which like if you're gonna have all those symbiotes, if you're gonna have all those, like all of them, like make it work. He has like the Null has like an like what's what I'm looking for? Infinite number of these creatures he can send. Like let them be able to fight back, and then let Venom realize like it doesn't matter how many we kill, he's just gonna keep sending them. Right. So then he makes a sacrifice. Like let us keep some of these symbiotes around. Like I felt bad when the assistant got separated from hers and hers got killed. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
they like each other.
Yeah, I mean the Christmas tree.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean another thing I found insanely stupid off of it was like how the Area 51 just explodes and somehow like that one bomb door is just gonna save Eddie from getting blown up. Like it's so stupid.
Like not even a full like building, right? Like not even
Yeah.
a complete structure around him, just like door on top of him so we can watch through the window, right?
Yeah.
Like
it's
again,
so stupid.
Like I feel like the writers like just needed more oomph. Like they need a little more like what's word like push. Like no, you have to keep trying. You have to add more. Like
Yeah.
They needed a superior. Yeah, 100%.
Well, I think they have a superior, but Avi Arad is not a good superior because he's literally ruined.
If it was a good superior, yeah. I mean, there's this. It just feels like this was made by like a bunch of senior high school kids, like as their final project. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's greedy executives that think they know how to make like pop these movies out just for money, and it just
right. They think that like people will just watch it because it's a superhero. Like don't understand what about the superhero genre people like and go watch. So they just think they can pump out anything in this genre and it'll make money.
Yeah, and it's like a thing. Avi Arad screwed up Spider-Man 3, so he screwed up Tobey's movies. He screwed up Amazing Spider-Man 2, so he screwed up Andrew's movies so that they didn't make a third one, basically. And then they're lucky Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios helped save Tom Holland's like movies in the MCU. Like,
how does this man keep getting work?
Yeah, and then like then the Sony standalone. Like how are they still working with Avi Arad? I don't know. But
same way that Star Trek is still working with Akiva Goldsman or Goldsmith. He's also terrible.
Yeah. All right. So like then we get to the post-credit scenes, then we'll do our review. So, and that's going to bring us to like talking about Null and the fact that he's voiced by Andy Serkis, who is literally Gollum, Caesar in Planet of the Apes, Claw in Black Panther, like this fantastic actor known for being like CGI mocap, like, and you're just going to completely, there wasn't any mocap involved in here, so you don't even use Andy Serkis for what he's known for, and you're just going to make this gray blob looking character.
He's not even, he's like this for most of the movie. And like his like dirty, greasy hair is down. Like you don't even see who he is. And then the end credit scene, he like pops up out of his chair. It's supposed to be really scary looking. And like
it's low grade Morbius is what it looks like.
Right. And also like if we're to take what you said in the movie at face value, what are you gonna do now? Like because the thing that you needed to get out of your prison is for a symbiote to save the life of another like living thing, and you just killed all the symbiotes. So like, what was your plan, you idiot? So I'm just like, I was watching it, and he like jumped up and looked scary, and I was like, nah.
Yeah, it looks so bad. Like I was very disappointed. I'm like, maybe Noel will at least be somewhat decent because it's Andy Serkis, and that's not the case. I mean, Andy Serkis directed Let There Be Carnage as well. Actually, so like, I don't know. I'm just like, it's Avi Arad, and like, I feel like they are hiring the same writers, even though they're doing different directors. So like, the writers are doing the same exact thing that.
Well, it's like when Marvel just kept hiring all the Rick and Morty writers.
Mm-hmm.
And like the Rick and Morty humor was not transferring or working with the MCU, but they just kept doing it.
Right. Exactly. I don't know. It's just disappointing. Like, I don't care. I don't want Null to be in Spider-Man 4. I'm a little worried that's what they're doing now, but I hope Kevin Feige and Tom Holland like salvage what they could going into Spider-Man 4.
They better not. And like Null is what? He's like outside of space and time. He's like this like beyond interdimensional bad guy. Like I want New York Spider-Man. No one knows who Peter Parker is right now.
Yeah.
Right? Like he needs to rebuild his life from the ground up. That's the story we're at. I don't want him fighting Null.
Yeah, I don't.
To fight Null, he needs to be Iron Man, Spider-Man again, and I don't want that. We had
No.
3 movies of that.
Right, exactly. And the other post-credit scene is a really lame gag of the bartender from No Way Home, and then in this universe, escaping from Area 51 after being taken, and literally running around like an idiot, like he's literally stuck in the middle of like this barren, nuked wasteland.
I was actually angry that I sat through the credits to watch
Yeah,
that because that was so
very
dumb.
very long credits, by the way. So it gets to
Very long
that.
credits, and like you could have not taken him. Sarah's
Yeah.
like she's enjoying how frustrated I am. I couldn't hear. You're muted, so I can't hear you, but I could see your face. You were genuinely happy that I was so annoyed.
I was just saying, yeah, I didn't take the time to watch those because like I don't have time for that. I had butts to go change, milk bottles
Yeah.
to do. I didn't have time for 30 minutes of shit they were just like, what do we do with? Let's just put
Yeah.
it
But,
here.
But like they took him, right? They take the Venom symbiote, the little bit that was like on the counter still.
Yeah.
They take that and then they take him for no reason, like, okay, fine. And then they do nothing with that until that stupid end credit scene where basically they're just torturing this man and making him think that like the world is over.
Yeah.
Oh,
And, like-
cool. So not
like-
only do we do crack, but we bully people also. Awesome.
Right, like
Yeah.
just leave this man alone. Leave him in his bar. He has to clean up his bar because Venom made a mess. Just like
Right. Get this
I
man a
don't-
broom.
Yeah, I don't understand that decision at all. I feel like they wanted to do like the MCU gag post-credit scenes that the MCU did sometimes,
Yeah.
but like the MCU did some of its gag post-credit scenes just way better. So
well, and just like don't make that like useless, pointless thing the like very end of the credits. If you want to have something that's like a gag that's kind of silly, sure, but like I didn't even find it silly. Like I didn't even find like it wasn't a good joke.
no. I mean, like a good joke is like you throw in like if you're gonna do it at the end, do like the Captain America PSA and Homecoming of like that is funny. Like
Right.
they're in on the joke. They know we're
Yes.
in on the joke. They've teased
Like I
it
said,
throughout.
that just seems like torturing this poor man. Like
Yeah, exactly. So
like Venom just shows up at his bar and now his life is ruined. Like leave this poor man alone.
yeah. I mean, and they tease that in the marketing too of like Chiwetel Ejiofor is like picking up the symbiote, and so like everybody's like, oh, so we don't get Venom in the MCU with Spider-Man anymore either. So,
No,
I don't know.
Whatever.
That's what they did with Let There Be Carnage. Is they literally set that up that Venom and Spider-Man were gonna meet, and then took him away. So. Like for this really bad ending to their really bad trilogy. So
Yeah, and like what was the net that they caught Venom in the water? Like what even was that? Like there was just so many things that were like, what are we doing here? What are you doing here? So like
yeah.
just so many things just don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's frustrating because like the first movie was fun. And they just never recaptured it. Like I don't know, like that ending, like him looking at the Statue of Liberty and like, but like, you knew watching it that they weren't both gonna get there, right? Like you knew they weren't gonna make it to New York,
Right.
Because that was like all he wanted to see. So you knew that wasn't gonna happen. So like, it just. None of it was earned. It wasn't entertaining. It wasn't silly. It was just poorly written.
Yeah. Well, let's rank it to end this off, but I am probably gonna give it a D plus because at least there was like stupid entertainment as I expected. I didn't go into this expecting some brilliant writing, and like I can't give it like even a C because like this writing was so bad and everything was so stupid. Like I have to give it a D plus. So
Yeah, I would probably give it a D2 for dumbass ending to the trilogy.
I don't know. I might give it a C because I think it is better than Let There Be Carnage.
Mhm.
I think the idea of the multi-symbiotes is cool. The execution not great, but the idea is cool. I kind of liked the family, and I kind of like Juno Temple's character. So like,
But
I
does that
think
make it a good movie? Like that's what we always talk about, though. Is there's like it could be good. There are parts of it that could be better, but like
so like in teaching, right? So like when I'm like separating the kids' grades, right? Like the A's are like purple, right? So the B's are blue, the yellows are green, and then the D's are yellow because you're almost failing, and the F's are red, right? So like I'd always say like if you're green or above, like you're fine. So like I would say this movie's fine. It's fine. Whatever. Like, am I gonna go watch it again? No, I'm not.
Definitely not.
No.
weird. As someone, who fancies the movie theater so often. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a statement.
Yeah, the classless people are saying no way.
Yeah.
Listen.
Right.
And
The
like
assholes in the audience are just farting right now. I love you, Cody.
I hope Cody watches this and he enjoys it. No, but like I wasn't angry with it. Like I didn't hate it. So I like a D to me is like a D is like a very like it was bad, but like
we know what the D is to you, Kevin. We know.
A bingo. No, it's like this was terrible, but like you had these one or two redeeming qualities. And like I don't think it was terrible with one or two redeeming qualities. I think it was fine.
Mhm.
I would not remediate this movie. I would just say you could have done better. And I'll move on.
Yeah.
And so that in my book is a C.
So this is gonna get like
I think it gets a D plus overall. But
yeah. So I mean it's better than Joker 2, so I guess props.
Joker 2.
Because I at least can go in and slightly enjoy this. So
right, like okay. If Joker 2 had like a couple of redeeming qualities, that would be a D.
yeah.
Because that was a bad movie, and if it had a couple of redeeming things, okay. Like this was a fine movie.
Yeah.
I would not go back to the theater. I would not recommend people watch this in the theater. But like, listen, if you are like cleaning your house when this is on eventually on Netflix, right? Like you're like throw it on. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know if you will though. It's not a coherent story. You're gonna be like,
True.
how many movies did I change the channel? Shit. Like
Right. Like it's gonna be fine. You're gonna like half follow it because you're not paying that much attention, but they didn't put that much effort into making you follow it. So it'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's fine. You get a C. Whatever.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, that is the end of our Venom 3 review. Couple of things. So next week we'll be doing a much better written project. We'll be talking about Agatha All Along, which is the most recently released MCU project. So...
spoiler alert now, I have not seen the last two episodes, obviously.
Right.
However, that most recent episode, the Yellow Trial, that might be the best Disney Plus like thing that they've created so far. Like, it was so good.
Yeah,
I loved every second of it. I watched it twice. I don't watch things. I watched it twice.
Yeah, I told my mom because I watched it with my parents after Survivor this past week, and we'll talk about it in the review next week. But like, just the fact like they were doing the thing where they were going back and like filling in the gaps as they went, and like it still worked out because everything made sense by the end. And I'm like, this writing was incredible this episode. So
the writing was incredible, and like they didn't do the thing that so much of Marvel and like this movie did, where like they shoot stuff and then they chop it all up because you couldn't. The writing was done in such a way you couldn't have chopped this up. Yeah. So like,
yeah, and it's
Agatha All Along had no business being this good. No one asked for this. No one wanted it. We all changed names so many times. We thought it was gonna be stupid. Who cares about Wanda's like nosy neighbor? And it is so good.
Yeah, and it's just like yeah, it really could have been something bad, but it really ended up being something great. And this is what a lot of the other MCU shows should have aspired to be. Like Moon Knight should have been this. Like we should have actually seen a lot
Moon
of
Knight
what-
should have been this. Ms. Marvel should have been this. Hawkeye should have been this. Secret Invasion was never going to be this good because Secret Invasion had a bad concept behind it. But like,
right.
you know, like She-Hulk was never going to be this good because She-Hulk just like, again, didn't have a good, but like some of these shows that are meant to be like serious introductions to like upcoming characters, like should have been this good.
Yeah. Yeah. And then with that, also definitely, if we haven't said it enough already, absolutely go subscribe to us so you can see our content on both the main Tribe of Nerds channel and Reality After Show. You don't want to miss any of our content up on either channel. We're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, so you can go.
We're just a bunch of nerds who like to come together and make jokes, and like Sarah is real grumpy all the time, and I'm like the nice one, and we're just like a fun little combo.
It's honestly, I hate being here. I don't know why I do this every week. I fucking hate that I have to see your face every week. So like, it's only because I am contractually obligated to be here that I am here. So
Oh my god, well then I love that contract so much more.
I know I got like a follow-up email that this was like, this is legally binding. God damn it.
Yeah. I'm
Love you
like,
too, sweetie.
I have to be like, Sarah, you're obligated to come this week. You missed last week. So.
And I have to be like, is Kevin coming? He doesn't have anything else to like parkour off of or something. Like, really?
Yeah. And then we just get Kristen to fill in when you're not here. So
Yeah, could you imagine her and I on a podcast together?
maybe it'll happen.
I don't know. Kristen, can I play Vanquish?
Well, we know the answer to that at this point.
No.
But we should end this because look what I just got delivered to my house.
Yeah, well, let's end this, and with that, we will see you all next time on the Tribe of Nerds.
Fuck you, Kevin, and fuck you, Jake, too. Just
Fuck
for
you
good
too,
measure.
sweetie. Fuck you too.